Hello and welcome to another video by Kaiser Voodoo. Today is the start of a new era as I've just received all the parts to start building my actual gaming rig. As you can see, I've got the motherboard, the graphics card, the CPU, the RAM, the hard drive, the PSU, CPU cooler, optical drive. Just going to take you on a quick overview of different parts and what I've bought and what I like about them, etc. Just going to take a close look at the parts now, and this is the motherboard. I got the Sabertooth P67 chipset motherboard, which is the new B3 revision version. It's an LG115 support, and this motherboard has a thermal sort of covering on the actual motherboard. This covering is said to cool down certain parts of the motherboard when heating and stuff. And a lot of people have said this works well and it can cool down a lot of certain components on the board better than just an overall cooling. And other people said it heats up the motherboard quite a bit, but there was more good reviews than bad reviews, and this motherboard popped up in a lot of top 5, top 10 motherboards of 2011. So I just thought I'd go with this one. Next we've got the Gainwood GeForce GTX 570 graphics card. This is not the Goes Like Hell edition, and this is not the Phantom edition. Instead, this is the standard edition. Well, I went to order the obviously Nevada GeForce GTX 570 card, and this Gainwood one popped up as it was selling overclockers for about £45, I think. The Goes Like Hell edition was at about 280, and the Phantom one was about 300. So I thought, well, I may as well go for the cheapest one, as it's on a deal. It was usually set at about £265, that is. So I just decided to go with this one. I mean, the Goes Like Hell edition one is a bit better, and the Phantom one is better as well. But at the cheaper price and still having a good performance, well, a great performance really, I decided to go with this one. Next, I've got the CPU. I decided to go with the Core i5 2500K processor. I didn't want to upgrade to the i7 because it's just got a few extra features, and an extra £100 I just didn't think it was worth it for now for that CPU. For the RAM, I went for the Corsair Vengeance one, the 8GB at DDR3. It's two 4GB sticks, the black version. You can also get them in blue. I think it's just cosmetic. It's not any difference in performance wise. Also, I got the I don't know if you can just about see, but next to my thumb, the 1866 megahertz rather than the standard 1600 megahertz, as this will make it run a bit faster. I was originally going to go with 16 gig worth of RAM, using the 4 slots on the motherboard, but I think my cooler is going to cover at least one of those slots, and my friend advised us that 8 gigs is more than enough for any games that are out today, and you're best off getting that because this is solely going to be a gaming PC. Maybe do a bit of video editing. I know a bit more RAM would be better for that, but I think 8 gig for now is the best bet. Next, I got the power supply, which is the Corsair TX750 at 750 watt. This is the version 2 of it. People try to skimp a lot on the power supply, like they'll pay the cheaper the better they think is better. You shouldn't really try and skimp on the power supply, as this is a very vital part of the build, as if you get a really crap power supply, it can and if that power supply fails, it can usually do a lot of damage to all the components inside, which can cost you a lot of money. So the original power supply I was going to get was, I think it was only about 500 watt. It was very cheap at about £30, and I talked to a friend about it, and he advised us to get this one. This one priced at around £85, I believe, but he said that this would do the job and work very well. Next is the CPU cooling fan. I decided to go with the Corsair A70 high performance CPU cooler. I was going to originally go with the Hyper 212 series, but I decided to go with this one because it has 2 added fans, and it had a few more better reviews than the other one, and it was a bit more expensive. I think it was about £30 as well. I know that this blocks, I'm sure this will block one of my RAM slots, but I hope that will only block one and not two, because obviously them two dual channels will not work with just having two 8 gig slotted anywhere, two 4 gig slotted anywhere. So I hope it's not too bad, and I hope my RAM can still fit in. Looking at the optical drive, I was going to get a Blu-ray drive, but I heard that those drives can run slower, and also they're a lot dearer, and to be honest, I'm not even going to be watching many Blu-rays on my PC, so I thought I've got a PS3 there with a good enough HD telly. So I just thought I may as well just opt for a cheaper optical drive. I think this one was priced around £20. It's a Samsung Super Write Master sat at 20 times DVD writer. So I just thought go with that one. It's about 20 quid. It's only going to be using optical drive. I mean, I should be downloading a lot of my games anyway from Steam and things like that. But I just thought that if I need an optical drive, at least I've got this one. Next is a Western Digital Caviar Blue 500 gig hard drive. This hasn't come boxed, but I'm not sure if hard drives are meant to come boxed, but I just got this bag like this with a receipt from, again, from Overclockers. But obviously it's in unsealable, it's in a sealed bag, so obviously it hasn't been used, and it is brand new. But anyway, I was going to get a Samsung hard drive, but then I seen this one was a little bit cheaper, and obviously Western Digital is widely used, and a lot of people are common and familiar with that, and works very well. So I thought, oh, I'll just get a 500 gig one. I'm not bothered about storing a lot of things on there. Obviously 500 gig is going to be more than enough for what I want to use it for. And lastly, I think I've covered all them points, but lastly is the Cooler Master 430 Black Elite case with a blue LED fan. And it also has a clear window case, you can just see on there as well. Obviously when I'm building my PC you'll get a bit better of a look, but yeah, those are my parts really. Those are my parts what I've used, are going to be using anyway to build this gaming rig. Also I got some thermal paste, IC diamond at 7 carat. I opted for that one rather than the 24 carat, as obviously it was half the price and in a smaller tube. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you stay tuned, and hopefully I should be doing a build on these and you should be able to see me put this together and talk more about the parts individually. Thanks for watching, I hope you like it. Stay tuned for more videos on this.
If you've got any questions or you'd like to hear more about a specific part more in depth, then leave us a comment or send us an inbox. Thanks for watching and please subscribe.